Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we talk about all things fandom on this channel. And if that's something that appeals to you, you have come to the right place and we're so happy to have you here. Now, today is Sci-Fi Sunday on this channel where we talk about all things sci-fi, fantasy, and comic book related. And today we've got to talk about Star Wars Celebration. They recently had some announcements, tons and tons of announcements, more than I can actually put in this video, but we're going to talk about two of them that are exciting and I think are going to be the ones to beat in terms of excitement level. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so it's been a great week to be a Star Wars fan. Star Wars has had a celebration, a whole bunch of things have been announced, and I wish I had the time to go through and talk to you about every single one of these events because a lot of the things that they announced I'm really excited for, and we probably will end up talking about them at some point in the future. Right now, I wanted to address two of the big things that were talked about, two of the biggest things that were talked about, that is, because I wanted to talk about the movies rather than talk about the TV shows in this one because they have two movies that are basically coming out back to back. And the first one we know about, it's been announced and it's been sort of lingering for a while, and it's finally getting closer to that day. We've still got a bit to go, but it's getting closer to that day. And that is the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Now, a lot of people are complaining about the Mandalorian and Grogu movie title, saying, how dare they call it Mandalorian and Grogu? That's so generic. Well, titles in Star Wars are everything, and they pretty much know the score. They know that it's going to be that title that's going to put butts in the seats, and that's what they want. So pretty much they know what they're doing, and I think it's a good title for this movie. Now, the movie also has the trailer that got released, and we saw Signoria Weaver. And Signoria Weaver is playing a part that we're not really sure about. Could she be more important to the role? She probably has a pretty big role in this movie. Being that it's Signoria Weaver, you get a name like that, my guess is you try to make the most of it. So I imagine her being kind of an important person in the movie. I personally would like to see her be a bad guy because you don't get to see Signoria Weaver be a bad guy that much. Unless, of course, you watch the movie Working Girl, which also starred Harrison Ford, who played Han Solo. And that's kind of a really weird thing because there's a couple things we know about this movie too. And I want to kind of tell you something that I learned. This movie is going to have an event that's going to coincide with its release date where the ride at Disney is going to have a Star Wars mission where you are with the Mandalorian and Grogu. And the thing of it is that this is weird because that whole ride takes place in the Millennium Falcon, which pretty much tells me that the Millennium Falcon may very well make an appearance in this new movie. So that's something to think about. Now, also, we have Jeremy Allen White of The Bear and of Shameless, and he is playing Rhoda the Hutt. And Rhoda the Hutt is Jabba the Hutt's son. We first saw him in the Clone Wars episode where Ahsoka rescued him and kept him safe and returned him to Jabba the Hutt. Well, then he reappeared for a little bit. He's been around. You haven't seen much of him, but in this movie, he is going to be a gladiator of sorts. He's going to be fighting in some sort of gladiator championship, and we saw a little bit of that in the trailer as well, and that looks really good. So whatever they've got cooking for this movie, I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and I personally can't wait to see what they do. Now, the second big thing we have to talk about is the other movie that is coming out next after that movie, and it's coming out about a year after Mandalorian and Grogu hits theaters. and that is, which is Star Wars Starfighter, which is scheduled to come out in 2027. Now, the interesting thing about this movie is that what we know about it is very limited. However, it's going to take place about 5 years after the events of Rise of Skywalker. Now, why is this important? Well, number one, we're not really promised a Jedi in this movie, although I think we'll see a Jedi. And then the other thing is that it's probably not directly connected to the Rise of Skywalker or anything like that. It could be its own thing. They did announce that there is going to be another trilogy that's going to take place, but that's a little bit farther out in the future. So what is cool about this Star Wars Starfighter is that we're going to get to see Ryan Gosling in this movie. And it's directed by Sean Levy. And if you don't know who Sean Levy is, he's done a lot of really cool movies. Just to name a few, you have Deadpool and Wolverine, Free Guy, Night at the Museum, The Atom Project, and Real Still. Now, not all of his movies have been extreme winners, but a lot of them have made the studios a lot of money. And him teaming up with Ryan Gosling, who is always kind of a joy to watch on screen, because Ryan Gosling is slowly starting to grow on me in terms of actors. He's becoming someone that I kind of look forward to seeing in a film because you never know exactly what you're getting. Now, you can argue that all of his characters kind of seem the same way, and maybe there's some truth to that, but I think he's a great actor, and I think that he brings depth to every role that he does play. And him playing in this new Star Wars movie is going to be something I think is going to be a lot of fun. I want to see where they take us because the rumor is that they're going to be taking us someplace we've never seen before, that it's going to be set about 5 years after the Skywalker saga. And that's important because not everything should connect. The Acolyte didn't connect to the Star Wars saga. I enjoyed the show, although it did have its flaws, and I will admit it had its flaws. It had things that worked and it had things that didn't work. The same can actually be said for the Skeleton Crew. I found the Skeleton Crew quite charming and I thought it would be a fun little show, and it was. I enjoyed giving you a review of each episode every week. Now, I might do that with Andor as well for Andor Season 2. I didn't do it for Andor Season 1, but I might actually try doing it for Andor Season 2. Star Wars has seen a lot happen at this event, and like I said, wish that I could talk to you about all of it. But I really can't. So I picked these two things because they are the two things I'm most excited for right now, being that they are movies. Now, that's where I'm going to leave it off to you guys. I want to hear what you guys have to say. What Star Wars announcement excited you the most? All of them? None of them? What was your favorite? What was your least favorite? What do you think they got going on that's going to work? What do you think they got going on that's going to fail horribly? Do you like the idea of this movie being called Mandalorian and Grogu? Or do you think it needed a better name? Then also, what do you think about this Star Wars Starfighter? Do you think it's going to be a lot of fun? What are your thoughts on Ryan Gosling as of late? All the crazy things he started to do movie-wise. Do you think it's going to prove to be a good thing or a bad thing? As always, we want to hear from you guys, so make sure you are leaving us that comment in the comment box below. Make sure you share this video with all of your friends so they can be a part of this conversation. Then don't forget to hit that like button. It is free. It really does help the channel, and we really appreciate it. Then Miko says we need more subscribers, and look at this cute little face. You don't want to disappoint Miko, so you might as well subscribe. And then while you're down there, there's that button off to the side close by. that notification bell, go ahead and hit that as well so you don't miss a single video we do. And then friends, at the end of the day, I know it, you know it, and Miko knows it. Fandom is family.